How's it going, Sha?
Um, I am sick.
Oh no.
Did you know that people could still get sick?
Like regular sick?
Yeah,
That's madness.
that's insane.
Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed anymore.
Mm-mm. Yeah, straight up sinus infection, which has
Look at
probably been
you.
waiting on me since 2020. I keep a sinus infection near me,
Yo.
so it's probably just been sitting on a shelf. Like, when is this bitch gonna fucking?
Waiting my turn.
Yeah, just waiting and waiting, and
No.
it picked. I mean, it picked a good time, um, because you know, illnesses just kind of hit you when you're run down. And I've been run down plenty, but this particular weekend that just passed, I am very run down from that because I decided to indulge in some jet set nostalgia.
Okay.
So okay, rewind. I know people who were DJs, not like I know DJs, but I have some friends, and the way that I met them was that they would DJ, and I enjoyed what they played.
Okay.
And there were a collective called Team Rollers, and
Oh.
there were four guys, and they'd play like a nice mix of hip hop, dance hall, jungle, drum and bass. And this was like mid to late 90s. This was like late 90s into the early aughts.
Okay.
So, 25 years ago. Ultimately 25 years ago. Um, and they spun until they stopped, and they had like a night at a couple of places, it's Team Rollers night, blah 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 blah. So, there was a club in Atlanta called MJQ, that's still going.
Yeah.
But they're getting ready to move locations. Um, and so they've been doing like these kind of reunion remember when nights from
Mm.
theme nights that they had from years ago. So they decided to do a Team Rollers night, and they did it on a Saturday. It was from 9 to midnight. Like, it was for everybody. We're all 50 something. We're all 50 something.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got kids. One guy came with his daughter
Hell yeah.
who, was old enough to come. I was just like, I don't know how whew, let me tell you something. It is good to see you here, and you were freaking out a lot of people, young lady. Um, and so I flew to Atlanta for the night. I flew out Saturday morning, hung out with my sister a little bit, went to the club, left the club, um, flew home first thing Sunday morning,
Yo.
took a cab from the airport to my stand-up classes, of which I had two. Taught two classes,
Okay.
two 3-hour classes, and then went home and fell apart. And a sinus infection went, here we go.
Got him.
And
Yo.
so now I just have, just little sinus issues and a sore throat. The throat's the worst part or whatever. But um yeah, but I still was just like, oh God, is this COVID? Did I catch COVID? Did all that drum and bass give me COVID? And it's like, no, it's an old school cold.
That's it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I think that's your body just saying, yo, chill, B.
Yeah,
You need to catch up.
I was way ahead of it. I definitely was just like, okay, look, I know it's a lot. Trust me, when I get back, I don't have to go to work the next day. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, it'll all come to us. We don't go anyplace. And my body said, okay, great, great, great. And it was like towards the end of that day that I sneezed and went, oh no, something's wrong. Like, it wasn't a normal sneeze. When the sneeze is more intense than your normal sneeze.
Hell
I
yeah.
sneezed and went, oh, God damn it. This ain't good.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I wonder, I feel like the human body adapts so much. I wonder
Mhm.
how many days you'd have to live that lifestyle before your body would be like, I guess this is the new norm.
Mm. You probably I mean, think about days when you were just running and running and running and running, right? And then you
Yeah.
stop. Um, and then you start up because it's like in fits and starts or whatever. And I feel like your body almost knows like maybe when you're on the tail end of like a whole thing. Like
Yeah.
it's your whole body's just looking at your calendar and I'm like, "Well, I don't have room." I've definitely been somewhere, like had to go somewhere and I was fighting off a cold and I said to my body, "Hey, I don't have room. I don't have time for this cold. Can you come back no shit in like 4 days?" And then I'll succumb. Whatever you
There you
want, I'll
go.
succumb.
I'll let
And
you do
my
the whole
and my
spiel,
body has been like, "Okay." And then 4 days later, it's just like, "Hey." And I'm like, "Yes, I'm home now. It's good.
It's
I've
your
done
time.
laundry. Let's go."
Amen.
Like this sinus infection waited for me to do laundry and then was just like, "All right, we in there."
Let's do it.
Mhm.
I rock with that. I like that
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I think sometimes your body knows. But yeah, I imagine if you're just like jet setting. And then this is also kind of perfect timing because I have to go somewhere next month for a
Yeah.
long period of time and then somewhere a month after that. So really, now is the only time if you're trying to get me illnesses, now is the time. Hit now.
2 for 1s, if anything. Let's go.
Yeah, it's wild because I just had a flu shot last week. And so I'm just like, "Come on, everybody, let's get in here. Let's party, do whatever you need to do."
Shalewa to like sharing spoons all week,
Yeah, I'm
you
like,
know?
let's do it and then get gone because I got shit to do.
Yo. And for those y'all unaware, Sha is still very much masked up these weeks.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's the other thing is I was like, "You must have been in my house waiting on me because
real
I
talk.
but I also was in, like, an airport. I was on a plane.
Okay.
I was
And like,
at I but, I mean, I was at the club. Oh, I was one of 2 people wearing a mask in the club, and the
yo,
other one was my homegirl. And
that's
we
real.
were just like, "I don't know what the rest of these people on." I expect this out of young folks, but y'all are our age. We're all the same age, and y'all is tripping? Okay,
Yo,
not the kids.
I've done
Yeah.
shows with Sha recently where the whole green room was me and Sha.
I still have one
And she
on.
still got the mask on, just ready. Like, nope, ain't nothing catching me. Now,
Mm-mm.
because all this means is if I get it, I know who to blame. But
Right,
I can
and
still get it.
that's the worst.
Oh yeah. Have
I'd
Sha
rather
angry at me next recording.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
I'd rather it just be from, "I guess I got it at JFK," or whatever,
Yeah.
than, "I got it at so and so's house." 'Cause the time that I did get it, I got it at a so and so's house, and shit still ain't been right. I ain't trusted that person since.
We don't even talk no more.
Oh my
I'm happy
goodness.
for you. That's sincerely beautiful. Like I love that you kind of had the like you had a night like that, like with
Mhm,
the team rollers. I think stuff like that is dope. Like I still remember the DJ from my high school of
mhm,
that whose parties we went to. He's still a dope DJ now. This dude DJ Get Live, short little Filipino kid. He
mhm,
relatively like blew up. He's kind of like I don't even want to say relatively. That seems like I'm downplaying it. He's like a very successful DJ. He does well. And yeah, like he's this quiet kid that sat behind me in like religion class. Ended up being like a real big deal in like the party scene. But like, yeah, he's still the guy that I associate with like my high school memories of like going to parties because like we talk about it the next day in class.
mhm.
And now like he got us through COVID, like he was DJing on
On
IG and all of
Twitch
that.
and stuff? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Mhm,
it was real dope to kind of have a little bit of that again. And I'm super thankful and appreciative of it that like, he was kind of able to like kind of get our mind away from that. And I'm glad that he's been able to be successful and kind of make that his thing. But I'd love to be like at like a 30-year reunion for high school, and like he'd
Right.
be DJing. That'd be fire.
Yeah, this was definitely better than my high school reunion, which I've only been to one of because I think we've only had one. Anyway, I we were we were a lazy class. But yeah, this was because high school was, it was high school. So there were highs and lows. And I mean, this was just hanging out, just where we hung out, but I just really loved a lot of those people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It was just nice to be in a room with folks who I was just like, "Oh, I adore all of you."
yeah,
Well,
that's
except for
beautiful.
you. But for the rest of you I adore. You know what I mean? There were moments of that too. There were some ghosts in that room in the
Hell
same
yeah,
spot, and just all everyone coming together. Um it was rejuvenating. It was kind of great to put a battery in my back a little bit of
how
just
so?
like well, at the time that um, we were out in the streets. These are a lot of artist types as well, right?
Mm,
So there were quite a few DJs in that room who were still spinning to some extent.
okay,
Um, and there are other people who were actual artists, like, fine art um, or throwing up tags or blah. You know what I mean? It was just like it was the kind of artist scene of Atlanta. One of the many artist scenes in Atlanta.
hell yeah,
And it was just fun being a part of it. Where it happened, like we used to put on art shows there and um it was it was a time when you could be creative, or it was a time where we were being creative. And that feeling of being creative, like I wrote a zine. Young people, a zine is short for a magazine, but it was a homemade one. So I would just type things out on a word processor, go to Kinko's in the middle of the night, photocopy a bunch of copies of it, staple it together, and then give it out at this club. That is what I would do. There are like 12 or 13 like issues of it. So it was called Self-Pity. And yeah, so I was like writing, like coming up with stuff on the regular, and and so that kind of creative energy,
yeah,
if it doesn't become your job, um if you're lucky you can maybe make it a hobby, but life gets in the way, right?
yeah,
You end up with someone or not. You end up with kids. You end up, you just got to get bills paid. You got to check on your health. You got to take care of your parents. There are so many things that you've got to do that can get in the way of the freedom that you have to create and explore and do all kinds of things in your 20s.
mm,
And so me getting into comedy was a little bit of a rebirth of that, of like, "Oh, I'm being creative in this way." And that has been like, comedy has ups and downs constantly. And if you haven't threatened to quit comedy at least 2 to 3 times a year, I don't know if you're doing it right. So it's a matter of, like, trying to tap into that feeling again of like, it feels different because you're creating a different thing and you're older and you're looking at it differently, blah, blah, blah. But going to that helped me remember, like being in the middle of that helped me better remember what it felt like to be in the middle of that 25 years ago
mm,
and do things and come up with ideas and blah and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I mean by it kind of put a battery in my back. When I was home between Christmas and New Year's, my solo show is about working in this porn store, and I visited the porn store. I needed some pictures for some slides, and the
yeah.
guy working I knew, and talked to him, and I took pictures and blah blah blah, and I walked out of there, and I felt rejuvenated then because I was like, yes, I remember the spirit of what that felt like to be in that space, and I can use that to help me with my show. So it's like a little reserve of energy. You just got to tap your finger in occasionally to remember that so that I can move forward.
Huh.
If any of that makes sense.
No,
But
it
it's
does.
just, yeah, so that's kind of what it was. It was a going back to my roots kind of thing of just like, here is when you were your most free. Ultimately, dancing the drum and bass, um, with these familiar faces being the ones spinning it, and this familiar face behind the bar, and in this familiar room is the most free that I think I've ever felt in life. I have not felt that free since. So it was nice to go back to that.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So
I
I mean, I hope people can I first off, I hope people have a time in their life when they do feel when they did or currently do feel that free.
Yeah.
And if you do, I hope you're able to access it in some way that's not dangerous. You know what I mean? I now if it has something to do if heroin has something to do with you feeling that free, yeah, baby, that free is gone.
It's gone,
Please.
baby.
No, that wasn't a free. That actually those were chains.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, so like I love all of this for you, first of all. I'm very happy that you got to experience some of that. Um, I think having moments like that always lead to like some fun creative stuff right after.
Mhm.
Uh I this is part of actually like not related but related. This is also one of my biggest fears of leaving New York cuz all of my the way that I tap into that is by going physically to those places. And
Mhm.
I know where those places are, and uh for the most part they're within 20 minutes of my house at worst.
Mhm.
So like whenever I need to like recharge or reboot, I go to places where I felt that. Uh I usually go there at times where it's not legal to be there.
Sure.
But it's also like if I got caught, I wouldn't get in trouble because of the people there.
Mhm.
But I def shouldn't be there at those times.
Mhm.
But I enjoy that I have like the access to that whenever I need, you know? Like, and I had that at different eras. In like my early 20s, I had like a lot of that around like my community in East New York.
Mhm.
There's places where like I know that if I go there, I feel like 22-year-old me, and I feel at my most hyper creative and my most fully free. And it helps a lot when I'm coming up with stuff to talk about on stage. And I know like, hey, if things blow up and like I live in LA and then like I have like a panic moment, I gotta fly across the country to center
Okay.
myself, you know?
You don't have to.
That shit
You
fucks my
shouldn't
head up.
you shouldn't it shouldn't be a cage. It's a place where you remember feeling a certain way, but the feelings are in you. They're not in the place. Now, being in that spot was wild and magical because we know that that was never promised. It was just a moment in time that we were able to capture again. And I don't
Yeah,
think anyone there took that for granted. Like I feel like everyone there understood how important that moment was. Do you know
right.
what I mean? Like they may do it again. They may have another night because they had fun doing it, blah, blah, blah. Good on them. I'm not flying back for it. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? Knowing what I know, it's in the same place, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be that magical night that happened.
Yeah.
It'll just be another club night, which is fine. And I want that for them. But if that's what they want, but I don't need what I got out of that moment. I got out of that moment. And but the memories and all of that stuff's in you, and it shouldn't necessarily be in the place. Like I don't have to go to these places to feel the energy, but if I go, I do feel an energy. If
Yeah.
I if but I can call up some semblance of it when I need to. Because, inspiration will strike me in the shower,
Right.
and it's just as powerful as when I'm when I remember, or I will have a strong sense memory of being at some gallery and or spending a night going to a bunch of different art openings, and at every art opening they were playing Speaker Box The Love Below. Like you could count, like when that record, it was everywhere. It was
Hell yeah.
everywhere. You know what I mean? Like I remember that. I haven't recreated that. I haven't had to, but I can have that sense memory of things that I've seen and experienced, and that can help. But then if you put a lot of the I got to get my juices flowing on going back, you're going to miss out on what you're doing right now that can also get your juices flowing.
That's fair.
Yeah. So it should be in you and not necessarily the place. So I don't want you to like talk yourself out of another experience because of your love for where you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you should, you know,
Okay.
try to live somewhere else at
I
least
pl-
once
I'm
before
planning
you
to.
go some back.
I'm I'm planning to. I think my next place will be out of New York. Um, but yeah,
Yep,
like
that's
stuff like
the
that, it gives me the fear.
yeah,
I just
no.
sent you the mix, by the way.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yep, that's
but
the
yeah, like that's literally been my fear. Like if I need to get centered, I go to specific places, and it gives me that feeling. Um, and then I could feel normal, if that
mhm,
makes sense. Hey,
yes.
real talk. I was having before the show, we normally record at a specific time. I had to push it back today because like everything that could go wrong in my house went wrong
Mm.
this morning. And I had to like mentally like remind myself of like, yo, you him, you know? I don't know if like I had to like give myself like everything. I woke up to like madness. Like I like, yo, I had such a peaceful night yesterday. Everything was
Right.
great. I
Mhm.
woke up, everything tech that could go wrong in my house went wrong.
Oh,
And
wow.
then everything emotional that I have to normally like juggle
Mhm.
all came up this morning. And I had to like really center myself on like, yo, I'm dope. I could solve shit. Don't overthink it. If one of these came up, you would solve it anyway. So
Right,
just solve these one at a time. They all coming up at once.
right,
So I
right.
just went through the whole chain of command, knocked it all out, and I felt good. But admittedly, a part of me was like, yeah, I gotta break into a church in East New York right now,
Okay, well, no,
and
no,
get
see, yeah,
centered.
you can try look for that same kind of joy in the thing that you all the things you fixed today,
Okay.
as opposed to
They got a basketball court that I just consider home base. I just like
sure,
sitting
yeah,
there and
yeah,
relaxing.
yeah, you gotta develop some more home bases.
Yeah,
Have a
that's
few of
fair.
them. You need a few touchstones. You can't just have that one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But I still got the key. So if you need shoot hoops at 3 in the morning.
I never need to do that. If there's anything you can count on is that I never need to shoot hoops.
Just in case, Sha, putting it out there.
Mhm. Okay.
Let's get into the news.
Alrighty.
U.S. Cancer patient developed uncontrollable Irish accent. That's right. North Carolina man who was in his 50s was presumably afflicted with foreign accent syndrome. The British Medical
That
Journal.
doesn't sound real.
I'm reading a BCC article, Sha.
Alright.
The rare syndrome gave the man who had no immediate family from Ireland a, a brogue that remained until his death. Several similar cases have been recorded globally in recent years. The case was jointly studied and reported at Duke University in North Carolina and the Carolina Urologic Research Center in South Carolina. To our knowledge, this is the first case of FAS described in a patient with prostate cancer and the third described in a patient with malignancy. Much of the man's identifying characteristics, including his name and nationality, were not included in the report. It just says that he lived in England in his 20s. and had friends and distant family members from Ireland, but they added he had never previously spoken with the foreign accent.
Wow. I'm going through this, article, and they give other examples of when this has happened.
Yeah.
In 2006, UK woman Linda Walker suffered a stroke and discovered that her, Geordie accent had been replaced by a Jamaican sounding voice. One of the first reported cases was in 1941 when a young Norwegian woman developed a German accent after being hit by bomb shrapnel during a Second World War air raid. She was
Yo.
shunned by locals who thought she was a Nazi spy. I don't even This is wild.
Yeah, that's how you know it's not a choice.
Yeah, who would yeah, right, like, during World War II? Like, you think I wanna sound like this?
Oh man, that's awesome. I wonder if they could take like acting lessons for like the vocals to like speak back like an American or whatever
Oh,
they
you
are.
mean to
Like voice training, like actors do it to like learn accents. If they
right.
have this problem, I wonder if they could take acting lessons to learn how to speak like an accent that wouldn't cause
Well,
problems.
this article also says other people who have suffered FAS have described it as the unsettling feeling of hearing a, quote, "stranger in the house," end quote, whenever they speak.
Yo.
So, I wonder if accent work would be good or if it's even more triggering. Because you know what I mean? Because even if you try to get your accent back, it's still gonna sound like
Another
someone
person.
with the new accent trying to speak like this woman who I guess probably had a British accent, but now sounds Jamaican. But if she tried to take classes, it would sound like a Jamaican person attempting a British accent, which honestly, they're a lot closer than people realize.
Yeah, I was about to say that's
The
dope.
Jamaican and Irish one are actually pretty close too. But anywho,
I
um
really hope she was saying rude boy. So bad.
yeah, I mean, does she now know the words though? Do you know what I mean? She's a British woman, so now that she speaks with this accent, is she still saying British things, or is she suddenly just
Yeah.
bumbleclats everywhere? Mm.
Oh, that's magic. Oh man. Real talk.
Well,
I'm a
that's
fan of
that
this.
yeah, are you?
Yeah, I hope more
This
people get
feels
FAS. This is pretty dope.
this feels kinda weird.
Cause like, you know what I like about this?
Hmm.
This would be the most fun way to find out I have cancer. You know? Like Yo, you
But,
talking weird. Word?
okay, but what accent how would you wanna sound then?
I don't know if I want to sound like any in particular, but I would be excited. Like it would just like kind of like I don't know. I feel like it cushions the news, you know? Like, yo,
Yeah,
dad been real
no.
Irish this week, you
But
know?
what if you ended up sounding in a way that you think is truly stupid and you have cancer?
Yeah,
Now
that
what?
sucks. That
Yeah,
sucks.
that would suck. Also, I don't know, I think it would throw you for a huge loop. I don't know if you fully understand how important your accent is to what you do.
Yeah,
You
that's
in
real.
particular, Gastor, because I have heard from people who are like, "I just love the Brooklynese out of them." Like like the just that thick, thick, thick accent. And I'm like, "I don't know if I hear it." And then I stop and I go, "Of course I hear it. That's all you hear." Yes, yes.
Yeah, nah, it's there's definitely sheen on the things I do. It's
Mhm.
very Brooklyn. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be
like
curious.
all of your stories will sound like crime, but with the Brooklyn accent, it's just like, that's what Brooklyn youths do, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
it
what they
sounds
youth
wholesome.
yeah, that's what the youth do there.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I would go through a lot, admittedly, but I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I think I would hope it lands around like Halloween, just to leverage it
Hmm.
as much as possible. Make some cool costumes that year.
I mean, I guess if I wanted one, if I was to have an accent that I'd be okay with. Oh gosh.
I would go Aussie, I think,
For who?
for me.
For you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aussie is actually as big as you are, so that would make sense.
Yeah, that's like loud, it's fun. It
Mhm.
would be just as interesting of a story,
Sure,
you know?
sure.
I'm with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't do any voices at all. So if I ended up with my luck, I'd just end up with a really deep Southern accent. And I'd go, well, hell. I was a third of the way there already. What is this?
I like yelling out oi oi oi. I think that's cool.
What happened?
I'm
Well,
with
it's
that.
kind of Britishy too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
I
with
guess you.
this. I like
Oh,
this.
all right. All right. Good for you. Not me necessarily.
Yeah, I don't want to get it, but like if I got it, cool. You know? In other news, alligator found in a lake in New York City Park, Sha. That's right. A
Mhm.
4-foot long alligator has been recovered from a lake at Prospect Park in Brooklyn, New York. The park maintenance staff noticed the gator on Sunday morning, and when removed, the animal was very lethargic and possibly cold shocked since it is a native to warm tropical climates. The No one was hurt when they found the animal, according to the New York City Parks Department. The gator has been taken to the Bronx Zoo. It is not clear how or when it ended up in the lake. The Parks Department warned, in addition to potential danger to park goers, this could have caused releasing non-indigenous animals or unwanted pets can lead to the elimination of native species and unhealthy water quality.
Okay. Look here. I love Prospect Park, right?
Word.
Maybe my favorite park. I
Yeah, yo,
I
it's slept
never
on.
go, but I love it. I grew up like a block from there, so I went enough in my first 8 years to warrant the love still.
Hell yeah.
Um, I'm wondering who's getting who's out here giving out gators for presents? Who's out here just like who's getting gators as a gift? Because I honestly think that's what happened is that someone somewhere in the area got themselves a gator. It couldn't stay in the bathtub anymore. And so they put it in a fucking lift and rode down to Prospect Park and put it in the lake.
Yo, yeah, that makes sense. I gotta say, that's kind of
Yeah.
the thing. A few things. I def think Prospect Park is the best park in New York. I think it's slept on. Central Park is dope.
Mhm.
I think Prospect offers almost all of those amenities with slightly less people. Um, but
Mm.
and also like I don't got to go into the city, but
Right,
I do
exactly.
dig it. Um,
Yeah.
I I don't I wish there were gators there in general. I don't know why. I
No.
think that's exciting. I like it,
No, you don't. You
but
know why? Because you have not been someplace where there are just gators under your car. Like,
yeah.
about you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
they're in the
I don't want them like loose throughout the whole park. Like I want like I wish it was like when you play like Mario and like you're playing like Super Mario Brothers and you go to like different like levels or
levels.
towns
Uh-huh.
and like and they have like silly names. I wish there was like Prospect Park Alligator Alley and like you just know for like these 500 feet, yo, there's mad alligators. Be careful, And if you go there, you know it going in. There's signs, But for those
Right.
500 feet, alligators allowed to roam free.
Okay, first of all, you're gonna need more than 500 feet for Alligator Alley. Secondly, if you think alligators are just gonna stay in their alley, you got another thing coming. We gonna there are not enough. We're gonna lose a lot of animals to alligators if we let them just kind of thrive.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean when I say animals, I mean like we're gonna be keep an eye on your toddlers. I mean like
Okay. That I could do. Okay. But I'm thinking like mice, rats. We got a huge
oh,
problem
are
in New
you
York.
kidding? Those are like peanuts.
Yo,
I
this is
mean,
the
we already
place.
got we already got coyotes. They're taking care of those, right?
In New York,
Yeah.
we got coyotes going through Brooklyn. I feel
We
like that I would have heard about.
I'm pretty sure there are some coyotes in Brooklyn for sure.
That's
I
what's up.
mean, when I think so, or am I thinking of wolves? No, I'm thinking of coyotes.
You are scaring the fuck out of
Definitely.
me right now. We got coyotes and wolves in Brooklyn? I've never
I
seen one.
feel like I don't know about wolves. I may be wrong on wolves, but coyotes, I'm willing to bet that there are. Brooklyn is huge, and there are still lots of green areas. There are more
Yeah.
green areas and I mean there have been a coyote spotted in Manhattan. And they, they're kind of they find a place, they have their little den and they kind of stay there. But yeah, I'm willing to bet. I remember coyotes when coyotes really kind of showed up in Atlanta, and they were just like, "Oh, there's a den over there," and other, they're very territorial. Once they find where they want to set up, they kind of set up there. But I'm willing to bet that there's a coyote den or two in Brooklyn for sure.
This is wild to me. Okay. First of all, if you any coyote listeners, please email me. I would love to know where you at. Like I'm down. Like we could DM. I'll catch up with you. Like this is incredible news
Let
for me.
us know. Come on, holla,
Yo,
holla at us.
reach out. I did not know this was a thing. Coyote, wolves. Yeah, reach out to me. I would love to catch up. I'll buy first round. Yeah, I want I want to know what the life is like. Where do you chill? I just discovered possums in Brooklyn, so like this is a big jump for me.
Yo, seeing a possum in Brooklyn is so wild.
Yo, I told you, I think
Yeah.
we have a neighborhood possum. Like he goes house to house. He plays dead on your stoop.
No. See,
Straight
here's
up.
the thing. Possums, you know my agreement. I mean, y'all do what you got to do, but stay away from me. And I need you to look alive. I need you to look alive. None of this play and sleep shit. I need you to look alive and keep it moving.
Oh man. Okay. But I'm pro
Yeah,
all of this. I want more of nature in Brooklyn. I feel like it's one of the few things we kind of miss out on. Like I just cause like I know like I've hung out with like friends from other parts of the country and like
Mhm.
we'll hit the road for like comedy shows or like whatever. And like I'm the stupid dude that like, oh look, cows. And like everybody makes fun of me when
Not
I'm pointing
cows.
like I see animals out the window when we're like driving out of New York and people make fun of me that like I'm excited, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
horses. And they're like, yeah, there's
Oh
horses.
no, not horses,
And I'm like,
Gastor. Those are the basic bitches of being
hell
outside.
yeah, but I'm hyped, shot. I ain't seen them since, yo. What you want from me, shot? Okay, I got pit bulls and dogs. I just said pit bulls and dogs. I just said a dog and more dogs. Okay, I don't have animals around me like that. So I get hyped. I'm like, oh shit, horses. And they're like, yo, there's horses all over the
When
world.
you see them when you're driving, they're like fenced in. They're not even like running wild or anything.
I couldn't even imagine that. Like that would fuck my head up. Like sincerely, that would be like sincere. Like when you said coyotes and
Mhm.
wolves, like to me that is like legitimately like touching rainbows. Like I cannot fathom that shit. That
I
there's animals like that just in New York and I haven't
I
seen
know
them.
I know. I feel like I told you the story of when I first went to visit my sister in the neighborhood where she lives now. Um, After she had moved there, she was like, "Hey, when you're driving back late at night, watch out, there are deer that are usually on that corner over there. So just slow up so you don't hit them because a deer will fuck your car up."
Hell yeah.
So slow up, and I was like, "Okay, deer, 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 deer." And I, was doing shows and stuff, and I'm like, I don't see any deer." And I saw her. I went to visit her a couple of times, still no deer. And then one time I'm visiting her, I drive back to the house. I'm in the driveway, and I look across the street, and I see a coyote, and then a second coyote come from behind the house across the street and walk down their driveway past their fucking basketball hoop, like just walk down to the street and then walk up the street to the stop sign. And I'm just in my car, like, what? Like frozen because they're loose. They're loose. And I was like, I know, but they don't mess with human. That's the thing is they avoid people. So when I opened my door, the light went on in the car and they kind of saw it and looked over and they were like, "Oh, that's a person." And then just kept going. And I went in my sister's house and I was just like, "Yo, there are coyotes out here. There are coyotes." And so I was just so big on coyotes that the next night I drove by and there was a mother son deer like combo sitting on the side of the road, and I just yelled at them, "Do y'all know there are coyotes out here? y'all like
Wow.
But yeah, but cows, I mean, cows have a home. I mean, when I see a loose cow, I usually it's a big deal. Usually people have sent me news stories about loose cows because they are always in captivity. That's funny that you turn into a toddler when you see them out.
Yo, that's just mind blowing to me. Yo, we just let these animals die. Okay. I get hyped. I don't
Oh,
know. I love seeing shit like that. Take me to a
oh,
petting zoo. It's a cheap date. I'm with it. You know what I mean?
oh my gosh. See, this is why we gotta get you out of New York for a hot second.
In other news, we asked gynecologists about Kourtney Kardashian's vagina gummies, and they did not hold back. That's right.
What?
At $30 a bottle, Kourtney Kardashian's new vagina gummies promise to turn your pussycat emoji, apparently. Although I still had to say the words. I don't know how that saves me here on the podcast, but into a sweet treat, helping it smell and taste better while supporting vaginal health, pH levels, and freshness, quote unquote. As good as the intentions may be, however, gynecologists across the country are cringing at the message. Reality TV star's newest line of botanical supplements seem to suggest that your vagina and its natural tang need to be fixed.
Tang. Okay.
Yo,
I mean,
BuzzFeed is
okay.
really
All
doing
right,
it.
BuzzFeed. I get it, but
I like that we are bringing attention to vaginal health, but this idea that your vagina is dirty and should smell like a flower or taste like a bakery is ridiculous, said Dr. Carolyn Moyers, an OBGYN from Texas. The vagina is actually self-cleaning. This distorts our body images and makes women feel something is wrong with them. It perpetuates this idea that we are broken and need to fix our body to be appealing. I mean, do we talk about penises like this? She said we should, in my opinion.
and we should,
Real
because let me
talk.
tell you something. I can't use regular scrubbing bubbles spray cleaner because it smells like balls to me. Something about that chemical smells like balls. Just basic ball smell. Oh, also get your kids away from the from whatever you're talking, whatever you're listening to this on. If your kids are in the room and they can hear it, I guess explain what balls and chemicals are. I don't know. Anywho,
My bad.
yeah. Like no one's talking about dicks like this.
Yeah.
And we should. But also, I'm not going in expecting it to taste like a donut.
Yeah, that's just not the mark. I don't even want to
No.
associate those things, quite honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're talking about vaginas, the last thing I also want to talk about is yeast. If
Yeah.
your vagina tastes like bread, she needs some medication.
Tang is right. Like that is the I don't know. It's good tang, but it's tang.
It's a tangy thing.
There you
Sure.
go. Yeah.
But here's the thing. This happens all the time. I feel like it's not like there isn't a time that someone is trying to tell us that our junk needs to smell better and taste better. This is constant. Like, I don't know if we're douching anymore, but that was a big thing of
Yeah.
just like, yeah, put a spray bottle up there and wash all that stuff out. And it's like, it's got it. Like it's
Yeah.
built, it'll take
built in.
care of it.
It's one of the features.
So for the Kardashians to come through and just be like, have you tried gummies? And it's like, give me a break. There are no teeth up there, hopefully. How are you going to do that? How am I supposed to gnaw on a gum? I'm just going to let it dissolve?
Yeah.
Does it have sugar in it? Because that's going to lead to a yeast infection. Did you do any work? Did you do any research?
Now you got ants in your vagina, you know?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
This is not the move.
This feels like a personal issue for whichever Kardashian this one is. You don't have to make money on everything that you have to personally deal with. You know what I mean?
Like, this didn't need to be a brand deal.
Yeah, so some of you need better shapewear. So you started a shapewear company. I mean, I don't know. I got some on the way. I'll thank you next week. We'll see. But if one of you someone has said something about your vagina having a tang to it and you got upset and your first thought was, I'm going to make gummies and sell them so that everybody's vagina can taste and smell. No, baby. This was a you and your doctor conversation, if that, or you and whoever told you that. But I want you to feel better about yourself
I like it.
and
I'm pro
quit
this message.
gummies. Gummies. Get the fuck out of here.
I will say we men have a long way to go with these combos. But outside of the fact that it gives us something to do professionally, one of the things I am most thankful for in terms of podcasting is like the push in manscaping product, just because it's like made it open to at least discuss that.
Okay.
You know, still doesn't address the smell, but at least addresses some of the cleanliness. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
just a basic trimming down there, you
yeah. You
mean?
know
Or
that's a huge step in the right direction, fellas. You know, I think that should be common. You know, but it makes the cleaning easier. You know,
that's true. If you
straight
got
up
to go through like the woods
foliage. Yeah,
to get to the house in order to clean the house, power wash the house, then yeah, cut that down. Trust me, it'll grow back.
straight up. You know, do
You
it up
know,
every now and then. I still
yeah.
find food in my beard all the time, and I think I do a good job of cleaning my face. So I can only imagine. You know.
Yeah.
Just saying, put it out there, fellas, you know.
Oh my gosh, Gastor, for you, I want you to start a manscaping company, and I want the tagline to be, "I still find food in my beard." That's so perfect.
In other news, the oldest dog ever sets a new world record. He sets one every day, baby.
Every day he's alive.
At 30 years and 286 days old, a Portuguese dog named Bobby was recently crowned the world's oldest dog ever, breaking an almost a century-old record. According to the Guinness World Records, the previous title holder was an Australian cattle dog named Bluey. He was born in 1910 and lived for 29 years and 5 months. Bobby has lived more than 3 decades with the Costa family in a rural village of Conqueiros in Leiria, Portugal. The Guinness World Records said in a statement, Bobby is a purebred Rafiero do Alentejo, which is a breed of livestock guardian dog with an average life expectancy of 12 to 14 years. Bobby's age has been confirmed through a 1992 registration with the veterinary medical services of the municipality of Leiria. According to Guinness, Bobby's age was also confirmed by the Portuguese pet database. Costa family says Bobby was never chained or attached to a leash and has always roamed the farmland and forests near their home. For the last 30 years, Bobby has lived on a diet of human food rather than standard dog food.
Is that why this Bobby looks like an end table? Look, I'm not dog shaming. I'm not dog body shaming. But it's a thick ass, old ass dog.
Oh yeah. Yo. Bobby
Also,
got
this
back,
picture that they have of Bobby, it's literally licking a cat. So Bobby kind of a freak also.
Listen, Bobby experimenting, okay? All
I
right.
mean,
That's how you live long. You know, you keep your mind open, your heart open, you know.
your mouth open eating human food?
Go ahead,
I
Bobby.
mean,
So this would be,
congrats to you.
what is it, times 12? What is it, the number for dog years? Or
Oh, I think it's
7?
like 7.
So he would be 210 years old?
Oh, shit.
Yo, that's brawling, yo. Go ahead, Bobby. Yo, we not talking enough about it. That's impressive, yo.
I mean, I guess so.
Real
Yes,
talk.
that is
Like low key, I know people that have died before 30, like just regular years.
yeah, that's
Yo,
true.
that's impressive, yo. We just gotta start
Man.
taking advice from Bobby.
Are we sure Bob? I mean, is Bobby's spirit still alive, or is Bobby like Keith Richards, where the vessel is alive, but the soul's been dead for years now?
I don't know. We gotta talk with Bobby. He looks
man.
happy in the picture. You know what I mean?
He
Licking his cat.
does. Yeah,
You know? I don't know. Bobby's chilling, man.
Bobby is chilling.
I am curious if like Bobby had kids and Bobby just got lost in this free roaming farmland, and just another really similar kid came by, and they think it's still Bobby.
No. I feel like Bobby's probably a regulator.
Yeah.
So Bobby probably has like a whole perimeter that he works. And then anyone that came by that's near, he's probably like, "Hey, out! I work these families." You know what I mean? I belong to the Costas, but this is my block. Basically, I feel like Bobby is a little bit of a boss.
Other animals talk about him. Hey, yo, man, don't press up on that area. You know what I mean? Bobby, a legend.
Yeah, Bobby.
He been here
Will
before you.
he
He'll be
ever
here
die?
after
I
you.
don't think he'll ever die. Just the rain. When Bobby dies, there's going to be a meeting of the other 4 dons to divvy up his area.
We have been waiting for this opening. Oh man, that's awesome. Yo, long live Bobby. All right. Keep it pushing, baby. Another 30. Why not?
No, not another.
Yo, real talk, I want Bobby to just inherit this land from the Costa family. You will be the last Costa there is, straight up.
Oh my gosh.
In other news, a woman driving the wrong way blames oncoming traffic for her crash. A Florida woman, okay, we're off to a great start, has been charged with aggravated battery after deputies say she deliberately drove into oncoming traffic, which led to a crash. Multiple witnesses told the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office that 20-year-old that was a surprise, Anicia Gines was speeding in her Nissan Sentra through Highway 98 at around 1 p.m. on Saturday, February 18th. Deputies say Gines was driving the wrong way, deliberately swerving to try to collide with oncoming traffic. Whoa. Eventually, Gines slammed into a Toyota. The 71-year-old driver suffered significant but non-life-threatening injuries. An off-duty deputy said he tried to detain Gines as she began to walk away when he grabbed Gines and she asked, "Why are you touching me?" He replied, "Because you could have killed someone." Fair. The deputy said Gines showed no sympathy. Instead, she blamed the other drivers, saying they're bad. The sheriff's office said Gines was uninjured from the crash and refused to walk to the patrol car. Gines was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and resisting an officer.
Okay, so either there is something mentally going on with this young lady,
Yeah.
or it literally is all those damn video games y'all be playing.
It could be.
It could be. Like to try to drive into oncoming traffic. I mean, I'm going to say 60-40 mental condition video games, which is not
hot take.
I'm going to say it's mostly something's going on there mentally, but only 10% more than halfway. You know what I mean? Like video games, I'm gonna give 40% because those get a little wild.
Listen, this is how crazy men are. I got this article sent to me a few different times. One of them by my homeboy that lives in Florida. And like he sent me article with her picture and he was like, "Yo, she kind of cute." And I'm like, "I feel like you're missing a large part
missing
of
the point. Look, I knew she was cute. I don't even need to see a picture of her. I knew she was cute. She thought she was going to be able to say to a cop, "Why are you touching me?" After running head on into traffic. That's delusional bad bitch behavior. No ugly girls doing that. I'm cute. That, and not just I think I'm cute.
She knows.
But society has told her she's gotten it backed up. That's absolutely what that is. You don't have to tell me twice. She's trying to destroy that Sentra. Oh, and maybe it was a Maybe
Right.
she
Might
owes
not have
money
been
on
hers.
that
Might have been a
Sentra.
boyfriend,
What?
angry, messing up his car.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. I mean, the car also. Yeah, maybe that's it. That she was trying to hurt whoever's car that is.
Straight up.
Hmm.
Wreck it.
I wish they put what year the Sentra was. I need more information to fully form my diagnosis.
Straight up. I'm curious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A family of giants. Let us know what's going on in her personal life. Don't actually don't do
Don't do
that.
that. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm not an accessory. This is all junk law. Don't listen to us. We are
Nothing we say is
literally, it's
serious.
all based on Law and Order episodes. Do not listen to me.
Yeah, I
Oh my
sincerely hope
gosh.
she's doing okay, and so is the person they hit in the accident, and they could figure that out.
And I hope your homeboy's doing okay too.
Yeah.
Here.
I was like, yo, but man, you've been striking out a lot, homie, huh? Because like you over here. Cause that's how he led the freaking link. He like texts me, yo, use this for the show, but also shorty kinda hot. And I'm like, you're in Florida. Like, I'm sure there's other women there. I promise you. Just go outside,
Just
go to
as
a
crazy.
beach.
Just as crazy.
Straight up. Just as wild. Whatever you into, you
Just
can
as
find.
cute and just as nuts. It'll be fine.
And not about to do jail time.
Yeah, you'll find your partner. You'll find your lobster. Don't worry.
If you would like for my friend to find someone else to be his next pen pal, all you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you are an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You want him to fall in love with Anisha, you know, and ride that roller coaster, not knowing how much time she's about to do. You know? 5 stars. You want better for my people, okay?
Yeah, I do.
You know, I do. You know, let him find a crazy woman who's free, you know, so that they could go to jail together when they do something wild,
Yes,
you know?
right. Absolutely.
A true love story, okay? If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Shannon Lamone, Blended Reality, Iron Fist Mom, and Robin J as always. Much appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am glad to be married to someone who is not crashing his car, Gastor Almonte. Gabby's dope. You know, also she doesn't drive, so I don't think she would take my car, but she would crash it if she did. So yeah,
okay.
You know, it's
all
2
right,
for 1.
Talking.
You know, but it wouldn't be out of malice. It would be because she can't drive. You know. Always with are you crashing cars, Shy?
Am I crashing cars?
Yeah, you're not crashing cars.
No, I think I'm good on that.
There you go.
No.
The will return the rented vehicle.
Yeah,
Shalewa Sharpe.
I will return. Yeah, I'll return it to you.
Oh yeah, but she's not paying for insurance. Okay, she knows.
No. I mean, I'm gonna ride dirty, but I'll bring it back to you.
Full tank, everything. Shalewa Sharpe. This has been, admittedly, random ending. Did not expect that to be the last article. I don't know why. Episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.